Okay. Let's go. How are we doing on this fine? We haven't seen the sun here in 5 days. Saturday, literally haven't seen. It's been cloudy and schmutzy for at least 4 straight days. It might be five. I don't know. So, um, boy, we got a lot of stuff coming up here. We got a lot of stuff coming up here in the next week. I'll let everybody know what the deal is once we get most of our people in here. We're gonna let me see. Let me get to the scores from last night, the schedule, all sorts of craziness. So yesterday was only the 4 games. Wild beat the Penguins 5-0. The Sabres beat the Blackhawks 9-3. Holy moly! Hurricanes beat the Jets 4-3, and the Bruins beat the Kings 2-1. So where that leaves us is the Bruins back in first place at 26 points, the Wings at 25, Lightning and Senators are 24, Panthers and Canadians, who I had conceded the division to 2 weeks ago, have lost 5 straight, and they are now tied with us at 23 points. The Leafs are 21, the Sabres with 20, and forget about the Metro. All you need to know about the Metro is that the Rangers are in last place with 22 points, which would put them 4 points out of first place in the Atlantic. Unfriggin' believable. So, hey, Jake, how you doing? Simon, how's it going? David, Hungry says, Edmonton's crying about our celebration again. What? Yeah, I'm with Bex. What are they saying? Oh, they were bothered by the things the guy said. Oh, you mean the truth about how the media was going to rake the Oilers over the coals? Like that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But when the players and Maurice were talking about the Toronto media saying that the guys, the Edmonton players were going to get basically raked over the coals and talked bad about, I thought they were sticking up for the actual players. Like my read on that was our guys were saying, hey, that's a good team over there. They just, didn't happen to win the cup. But I took it as they were sticking up for the players, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Hey, Hungry, how we doing? Simon, David, let's see where we got. Do I think the Panthers are going to do our? Yes, Panthers are winning this game. Hey, JC, how you doing, buddy? Bill, how we doing? Yeah, we are officially over a quarter of the way through the season. It ain't no joke. Thomas, yeah, 9-3 last night. So Miss Shaw says she promised to be good today. Well, that's no fun. Well, that's no fun. Huh? Unless you want to save your misbehaviors for later. So once we get a couple more people, I'll let you know what the week schedule is going to be. Let's see. They're talking about the guys chanting F Edmonton and okay. I gotcha. Yeah. I mean, kids got drunk and said stuff. It is what it is. Hey, Guitar Crow. I know November's almost over. Yeah, they left Soderstrom out there to get bodied last night. They had played the night before, though. So, real quick, a couple of scheduling things. I'm going to make a post about this. So, tomorrow, Kyle and I are going to be doing, I believe it's Eagles Cowboys tomorrow afternoon. We're going to do that on the football channel. And then there's a good chance Don and I will do an Inappropriate Conversations over on the men's channel tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, Thanksgiving, Don and I will be live on the football channel. Not sure how many games. We shall see, but it'll just be her and I because Kyle will be at his mom's. And then there's going to be a Black Friday stream that's going to be hockey because there's hockey during the day on Black Friday, including the Panther game that starts at 4, but there's some earlier games. So there's going to be a lot. This week is going to be just jam-packed with content for sure. Tens of 20s of hours of streaming this week. So, Simon, yeah, they changed everybody to the handles again. It's just one of those things where YouTube did it before, everybody complained, so they stopped doing it, and now they're just doing it again. And I don't know why YouTube is so insistent upon. I understand what they're trying to do because everybody's handle is unique, where somebody's channel name can be easily copied. So I understand what they're trying to do, but just the implementation, they should have had some sort of mechanism when they did it, that when a person first went to a stream to engage with the community after YouTube made the change, there should have been a little button to come up and say, hey, do you want to change your handle now so that the people in the chat will know who you are? So it's like anything else. There's 5 extra steps to everything we do these days. Lil J says, what I will say is we didn't say much after winning the first one. I hope we didn't party too hard for last year's celebration. Well, Lil J, remember the Kucherov one where he got drunk and had his shirt off? That was two times. So, and then you see what happened after that, right? They did some heavy duty celebrating last time for sure. Bill says, if we win tonight, we'll be rent-free. And McDavid said, I expect us to win tonight. I absolutely do. So the Islanders will host the 27 All-Star game. Gotcha. Oh, that's good, Colin. Cooper Black made a career high of 40 saves in the Checkers 2-1 win yesterday. That's good. Hey, Dana, you couldn't resist the New Jersey? Dang it. Well, hey, if you have the money, Dana, do it. You know what I mean? If you have the money, you want to do it, do it. Because you won't always have the money to do it if you want to do it. So if you want to do it and you can do it, do it. Figure that out. So we'll be okay. So, yeah, I totally suspect that I have a really good feel. Don't bet money on that, though. The Oilers are what? 23 points, 9-5, and we're 23 points at 11-8-1. So, boy, the Oilers have turned into overtime merchants, huh? Loser point merchants, 5. Good grief. Minus 16 is the Oilers' goal differential. I would have thought that, they're behind. Well, they're tied with the Sharks, but the Sharks got more wins there, it looks like. So, Beck says, my jersey shipped to me. It's nice. Yeah, look, it's each their own, right? Beck says, I got a Kachuk to manifest him coming back before the Winter Classic. Ooh. I think that's what we're looking at, right? I think they said maybe a week before Christmas. Hey, David. Colin says, all I know is all bets are off for tonight's games versus the Oilers. No, we're gonna whoop their ass tonight. I'm telling you, we've been playing a lot better. Don't let our record fool you. The last 4 or 5 games, we're looking very much more like the Panthers, and the Oilers are not. And who we get in a net tonight? Let's see. Who played the last time for Edmonton, which was on Thursday? Who was that? It was Picard. So I suspect we're going to get Skinner tonight. Yeah. Who gave up 7 for the Oilers? That was Skinner. Skinner gave up 5 goals on 19 shots in his last start against the Capitals. So, yeah, put Skinner back in. I like that. Oh, Mix, is that for who's tonight or who got last night? Let's see. 2 Hey, when is that check in the mail? Is that true? Because I could use that 2000. The 2000 tariff check is in the mail. Is that can I don't watch the news. Somebody let me know when the money's coming. Because that's actually the exact amount of money I need. When is our plan when Sergey retires? Are we working on a plan now? Well, no. We're working on an extension. So that was part of the reason why we got rid of Spencer Knight, because he was never going to get an opportunity here. There's no official word, but the suspicion is 2 or 3 years. I would think maybe 3 years, unless he wants a little bit more money and we need to space it out over time. But Bobrovsky's the starter for at least this season and most likely the next two, unless the wheels just completely come off. Now, Cooper Black, that Colin mentioned up above, had a good night last night. His development has been less than speedy. We'll put it that way. But young goalies can be that way. The guy is like 8 feet tall, so I don't see how he allows a goal at all. So no, there's no real plan other than if something was to happen to Bubba, you just cross your fingers and hope Tarasov would be good enough. We've traded away the guys that would, we traded away Levi, who's not done well anyway. And then, of course, Spencer Knight, who obviously is doing pretty damn well in Chicago, but he was never going to get a chance here. So right now there's a Russian goalie that we have. There's a couple of guys that we have, but nobody that's going to be ready probably any sooner than at a minimum this year and next year. And that would be like some miraculous pace by Cooper Black to be ready to go in 2 years. I suspect it's more like 3 or maybe even 4. Miswell says, I don't know what that was last night with the Sabres. Hey, it happens, right? Yeah, Skinner's been Swiss cheese, right? Yeah, the crowd will be in his head. Skinner said that he wants to start for Team Canada. Might be peak till. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Colin says, anyways, I got to work in the most entertaining game. There were 5 fights, even one after a goal, which turns into a line fight, but they cut it down from the TV. Oh, man. They cut it off from the TV. That sucks. Simon, I don't think there's anybody coming back before Thanksgiving. I don't even think Luosterainen. I don't think any of these guys are coming back before Thanksgiving. Luosterainen likely be first, and everybody else is just. I tell you what, the only thing I'll say about all these injuries is, boy, oh boy, if everybody comes back healthy at the end of the year, we are going to have one hell of a fresh and rested team. It almost makes me wonder if they're faking it. How many guys can get injured? It's just kind of interesting how most of the guys that would need a rest, Barkov, Kachuk, right? And Kulikov, although why would they fake a Schwint injury? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if they all come back healthy and rested, we are going to, I'm just saying, it's not like there's anybody in the Eastern Conference that is lighting it up. I know the Canes and Devils are good, but you're not going to convince me to be afraid of the Canes in the conference finals. To me, if we're healthy, I still feel like we should be winning the conference, and then we'll see who we would have to deal with. But we got to just continue. We got to win games on this homestand. It's just a must. We got to expend some energy now and just keep banking points. Lil J says, you're right. We've looked much better this week, and Edmonton looks like dog duty. I want to see Skinner get pulled tonight. Hey, Jimmy Myers. Hey, what's going on? Are you guys for real? When are the wheels going to fall off for you guys? You guys don't want to play Marchand in the playoffs, do you? That's not going to be too we can't let the Bruins win the division. because then you probably would have Boston, Tampa, Florida, and then Tampa and Florida would beat the crap out of themselves. And then whoever, Boston beats, right? Maybe the Canadians, maybe that would be a good series, though, Boston versus the Canadians. You guys got to stop winning. You guys are going to have too much hope. We can't have that. Hungry says looseness should be a couple of weeks at most. Blisters don't take too long to heal. Wouldn't they also be out of practice? Well, for the veteran guys, that it only takes them a couple of games, 2 or 3 games, to actually get back into game shape, as long as their conditioning is good. But in terms of being out of practice, it usually takes 2 or 3 games. We'll be fine with Tkachuk. The one that will be the one player that will have an effect is Barkov, because in all likelihood he wouldn't be able to come back till game 1 in the playoffs. That's not easy to do. Don't play the whole season and then just step in the playoffs. Craig says, not to mention how gelled the depth would get from playing meaningful hockey all season. Yeah, they're basically doubling the locker room. That's why the Schwint thing, man, it really disappointed me, because I didn't expect him to be in the lineup during the playoffs, but that would have been a nice little piece of depth, if something came up where we could have used them. But Gregor's looked pretty good, and Devine looks divine. Hopefully he can stick around. Aaron says the Bruins have played 2 or 3 more games than anyone in the division. It's a little fake. Let me see. Yeah, good point. Good point. They got 23 games. Wings have 21. Then the Lightning, Senators, Panthers, and Canadians all have 20. I mean, they're still doing better than they were. Certainly better than expected. What's going on with Montreal? I conceded the division to you guys, and you've crashed out. You've gone from owning the division to having the worst plus minus, the worst goal differential in the division in 5 games. I guess that's what happens if I'm too positive. See, it's not just the Panthers, guys. As soon as I started praising the Canadians and saying, see, I told you they were going to win the division, they crashed. Damn it. Like I said, Boston's awesome. They're going to win the division. Beck says Lundell and Forsling are going to have to work hard tonight against McDavid. Well, that's true. That's true. But don't forget, Lundell took a lot of that responsibility in the playoffs too, especially against the Leafs. He's capable of doing it. Yeah, babe. The chemistry is already established, so they picked that right back up. It's just a matter of getting their hands and eyes used to the speed of things. Samuel's playing in his 100th game tonight? That was quick. Really? Wow. That was quick. Dang. Montembeau doing Montembeau things, Aaron. But I know Dobish has not been good either. Dobish was carrying them for a while. And I was looking at this yesterday. When you look at his game logs, so Dobish started off the season by allowing 1-2-2-1-3 goals. And then since then, it's been 4-5-3-4. So he's kind of regressed to the mean, especially his save percentage. Holy hell in a handbasket. So I don't know what to make of that. I mean, he's just completely tanked. And then Monty is pretty much a little bit worse than you would expect. So Monty didn't start off that well. Oh, my God. Is there goals again? No, that's not. Okay. I thought I opened up game logs. So he started off all night. He's been okay. He's pretty much been Monty, right? Goals allowed have been 3-2, 4-4-6. 3-4-2-4-2-3-3. but that 2 was the 20 minutes he played against Dallas after Dobish got yanked. So his save percentage is, he hasn't had his last 5 games of save percentage, 926, and then 840, 667, 870, and 700. He must have got pulled in that game too. Yeah, it was a start? He started that game and got pulled against Washington, allowing 3 goals on 10 shots. Holy crap, Montreal. Scientist says Paul Maurice said they'll be running the same lines. Good. That's how it should be. Right? Win the game, keep things the same as long as nobody gets hurt. That's the best thing that happened the other night. Nobody getting hurt. Dave says, so work is just horrible. Can't pay attention to anything else. Ah, dang it. I asked about the local site, but never heard the answer on there, but don't see Flying Fluffy. Is it under something else? It should take you there. Hold on a second. There's a link on the hold on. Posts. Because below the thing, if you click flyingfluffy.locals.com, the community is there. I'll have to make a post because I had just figured out how to do it. It's not very user friendly when I was trying to figure out, but it is there. Dave, I'm gonna just put the link here. This is the link. Link goes to this site, but once on site, this here. Let me post the link. That's the link that should take you. That link that should take you right to the page. All right, David. Yeah. What Dave was talking about is I created a locals account, locals community. I just created it this morning, so. I'll keep posting links to it because over on locals, once I figure out how to do it and everything like that, we'll probably have some streams that'll be over on locals only because let's just say we can get away with showing some things over there that YouTube, the stream would immediately get taken down. So if you follow me over there, and every time I do it, I'll post the link and all of that. But I'm still trying to figure out. It took me 20 minutes to figure out how to create a dang community because it wasn't very. Because I'm old. We'll just leave it at that. Simon says, "When's prediction of the Eastern Conference so far, and any surprising teams? It's all of it, Simon. All of it. You couldn't have paid me to think the Bruins would be in first place. You couldn't have paid me to think the Canadiens would be that far out. The Leafs I might have bought. The Islanders are definitely better than I thought they'd be. The Penguins are still hanging on. But the Metro is about what you would expect. It's the Hurricanes, Devils, and then who the hell knows what after that. And see, here come the Capitals. They've won 3 straight. Now, of course, over in the West, things are obviously the Avalanche. But then the Ducks have been in first place in the Pacific for 5 minutes now. The Ducks aren't bad. Quenneville's got them playing well. What a PR nightmare that'll be for the NHL if Quenneville gets the Ducks to the Stanley Cup final in his first season back. Yeah, Anaheim has to be the biggest surprise so far. Absolutely. 100%. And they're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. They got a 10 plus goal differential. They're playing well. They beat the crap out of us, And so the thing with the Ducks, let me see here. Did I include them in that when I did the video about the goaltending tandems? Did I include Anaheim's goaltending duo? Because there were 4 teams that I picked I don't think I did. No, I did not. The Ducks weren't in that conversation. So Dostal and Mrazek, we all kind of know what Mrazek is, and he's not playing real well there right now either. Um, the goaltending doesn't look like a first place team, but don't forget, Bob had a horrible year technically the year that we won the President's Trophy because we were outscoring everything. So Dostal's at 281 and 904. And the year that we won the President's Trophy, Bubba. Let's see. Cup. The year we won the President's Trophy, he was 267 and a 913. And Dostal is 281 and a 904. So just a hair worse than where Bobrovsky was. They've allowed 470 shots in 16. He's played, God, that's like 30 shots a night the Ducks are giving up. Dostal has started 16 games and he's faced 470 shots. So 30 shots a night would be 480. So that's about 29.3 shots per game that Dostal is facing there. That's a lot of shots, no doubt. Deadly Flames, we and a lot of Flame fans get mad because Cal. Yeah, what you guys got to? I don't know how you're going to rebuild with those contracts. You guys are stuck with Huberdeau unless you guys eat a bunch of. You guys have to eat a ton of salary. Huberdeau's what in year 3 of that deal? Huberdeau contract. He signed an 8-year. He's in year 3 of the cap with a cap hit of 10.5. I mean, and remember, you're not allowed to add a second team now into the trade. So you're only going to be able to eat so much salary. So you'd have to eat like at least probably $3 million a year to be able to move Huberdeau. I mean, Huberdeau's sitting there at 10.5. When you think about what McDavid is making, is just laughable. Fisherman says, I get that Patrick Waugh was angry at Rantanen. Okay, hear me. You think something might happen, like when Coach Waugh said you're not playing that. If Patrick Waugh says it, I'll believe it. Now, some other guys I might think were talking out their ass. But if Patrick Waugh said you won't finish the next game, he's not going to care what the consequences are. If he sends a guy out there and Rantanen should get, I wouldn't play Rantanen. I wouldn't play Rantanen in that game. And that's just my honest opinion about it. Patrick Waugh is a different. There's how most people would handle that situation, and then there's Patrick Waugh. He's not like an Antonio Brown or something like that. But if Waugh makes a threat like that, I wouldn't bet against it. Hungry says, think they will trade Anderson and Weegar at the deadline. So let's see. Let's look because they're in a bad spot. What's Anderson's contract? Must have looked this up before. So his hit's not that bad. He's in the last year. I would suspect yes. Honestly, if they could eat half that salary, somebody would be getting him for under $3 million, right? And I mean, he's a right-hand shot, and they don't grow on trees. I wouldn't be surprised to see Anderson get traded for sure. And then with Uyghur, I think the problem with Uyghur is his contract. I mean, how much did he get? It's just he's so early on in the deal. Uyghur's only on year 3. The same thing as Huberdeau. His cap hit's not all that bad. So to get rid of Anderson, Huberdeau, and Uyghur, I bet you to get rid of all 3, they'd probably end up with a combined $4 or $5 million of dead cap for maybe not that much because Anderson's not next year, but you still got 4 more years of Uyghur and 4 more years of Huberdeau, and nobody's taking on. I don't want to. You might be able to sell Uyghur at 6.25. You're never going to get rid of Huberdeau at 10.5. You're going to have to eat some salary. If you might be able to sell Uyghur at 6.25, but it's going to have to be to a really specific team that has a need and has the finances available to do that. It's a tough one. Dr. Doom says with Helliebuck, we might have to start Comrie next game. Yeah. Fake Tally says, what worst game we will have be prepared to play the Avalanche tomorrow? Hey, look, you guys have been playing well. Yeah, the Avs are not completely invincible. Just don't try to beat them in regulation. Didn't the Jets play him last night, Dr. Doom? Didn't they play him last night against the Hurricanes? Yeah, he played last night against the Hurricanes. I kind of thought the Jets were going to kind of pick it up last night and win that game. I thought maybe that they would rally around Comrie a little bit. His numbers weren't terrible. 4 goals on 28 shots is not great, but his numbers haven't been bad. They haven't been great, but I mean, he's got a 284 and an 899, which is about where Bubba is right about now. Winnipeg, I don't know if they're going to survive. They could maybe use a goalie at this point. I don't know who their backup's going to be now. Again, he started off the season okay, allowing 2, 3, and 2 goals, and then it's been 4, 2, and 4. And Winnipeg's just not going to score a lot of goals. Once you get to allow more than 3 goals, I mean they lost last night 4-3. Winnipeg's got to allow 3 or fewer to really have a genuine chance. And yeah, if they're going to want to attempt to stay in the playoff discussion, I don't know who's out there that they could go get, but where are they? I mean, they're still in 4th place, 24 points. They're still in a playoff spot right now, but I don't know that they're going to be able to hold on to that with Comrie. They may have to go get somebody. Now, I don't know who they're going to go get because everybody else has so many damn problems as well. The Flames aren't going to be selling Wolf, that's for sure. I wonder if no, the Oilers wouldn't be interested there. The Sharks not. That's one of the problems right now is that a lot of the teams, if you're a team that has a need, a lot of the teams that you could normally depend upon to, well, the Sabres will sell, or, any of the crap teams, the Ducks will probably sell. Like, those teams are decent enough now. So the Preds got Saros sitting there. Maybe Winnipeg should make a little option there, although his numbers aren't any much better than Comrie's. There's no big deal there. In fact, his save percentage is worse. So, and the Panthers we're fresh out. We don't have any goalies to help anybody. Hey, Washington Capitals. Yeah, you guys played the Lightning tonight. Could you do us a favor? Do us a solid? Huh? Do I think the Islanders make the playoffs instead of the Rangers? What I will say is I think that if either one of those two teams are going to make it, I think it would be the Islanders. The Rangers are a mess. I mean, they made JT Miller their captain. You know what I mean? The Rangers are a mess. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up selling at some point. Um, the Islanders, there's nobody in the Metro. I mean, Penguins, Caps, Jackets, Flyers, Rangers. If the Islanders roster is still pretty good. It may not be a Stanley Cup roster, but I mean the names are still. It's a veteran team, but Horvat, Barzal, Palmieri, Heineman, Schaefer, Druin, Anders Lee. I mean Pollock, D'Angelo, Duke, right? Cizikas, and with Sorokin and Riddick, you know, they've got a decent enough team where if they just play within themselves, they could finish third. They don't have a Stanley Cup team, but they have just a good, solid veteran team that can win games when they need to. The Rangers are just a mess. Hungry says, watch them get Skinner and he leads them to a series win over Edmonton. I don't want to make a score prediction tonight, Simon. I've retired from that. Hey, Universal Habs, what is going on, man? The goaltending just absolutely fell apart. It's bad. What the hell happened? Dobish looked like he was going to be competing for a Vezina. And it's just gotten, is it the defense? Are you watching the games? I mean, either both goaltenders completely took a tank or something's going on with the defense. I mean, it's just gotten bad there. Yeah, the Sharks got the Sens tonight. Yes, please. We'll take that. We could definitely use the Sharks' victory against Ottawa tonight. Ottawa is another team that's going to be a pain in the ass because they're doing pretty well without Brady. You know what I mean? We kind of expected them to fall off and then have to make up some ground. But I don't know what to make of the Atlantic now because the Canadians have been so bad. But I got to believe that they're going to right the ship. I tell you, I don't think Toronto's going to make the playoffs. If I had $100 free right now, but I had to place a bet, I would place it on the Leafs not making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do it. I really genuinely don't. They just don't have a direction. You just can't let a guy like Marner walk and replace him with, a couple of guys. You know what I mean? It's not Moneyball. It's not baseball. You know what I mean? You can't just take 105 points or whatever the hell he had last year and not just the 105 points that he had, but the effect that he had on the players around him, the mismatches that he creates. He's on the ice, and then the next set of defensemen come on the ice against some of the other good players. You just can't lose a guy like that and just expect some average hockey players to make up for it. Just can't do it. Hungry says, I thought Michele was the second coming of Matt Sundin. That was the rumor, but it's not. I mean, where's he at? Where is he at? Hold on a second. I love how I can type in something that's a complete typo and Google knows I'm talking about hockey, so they send me the right stuff. I mean, the dude's got 8 points in 20 games. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists. I don't know what they were thinking. He played 3 seasons with Arizona. His best season was 82 games, 17 points and 40 assists, right? So those are good numbers. It's not bad numbers. And then he played 55 for Utah, 8 goals and 10 assists, but he's always been a minus player. Like in Arizona, 57 points, -4. Last year for Utah, 18 points, but was a -13. Holy hell. Right? Now he's plus now, but I don't know what they were thinking. If he was the second coming of anybody, would Arizona and Utah had just tossed him aside? I don't know what they were thinking. Dave says, yeah, way more than points because he occupies the other team's best D-man. Yeah, exactly. All that stuff, I mean, look, that's why do you think Lundell, Luostarinen, and Marchand was the best line in the playoffs last year? Because because by the time you get through the Barkov line and the Bennett and the Tkachuk line, who are you going to have covering? Who are you going to have up against Lundell, Luostarinen, and Marchand? You know what I mean? So it's also cumulative. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs because the Atlantic is just, you're going to have to want a playoff spot. You know what I mean? In the Atlantic this year, whoever gets those 4 spots wanted those 4 spots. It's not going to be like last year with the Panthers with a month left, like, we don't need to worry about the division. We'll play footsies here a little bit, get second or third place. We're fine. We don't care. It ain't going to be like that this year. There's too many hungry teams. And eventually Montreal will right the ship, sure. Hab says, I wonder what Coach St. Louis might have to do or adjust the lines. Yeah, now in terms of, St. Louis. I don't know why I read it St. Louis. It's not, it doesn't look like it's goals against, though, right? I mean, it doesn't look like it's goals for. Let me see. Canadians, the last several games, you lost 8-4, you lost 4-3, lost 3-2, lost 7-0 to the Stars. Holy crap! That's where. So you beat the Mammoth 6-2, but you had already seen the defense starting to get a little bit loose, right? 6 against the Oilers, allowing 6 against the Oilers, 5 against the Flyers, 4 against the Devils, and you beat the Mammoth 6-2, and then 5 more to the Kings, 7 more to the Stars. That was brutal. Played better against the Bruins 3-2, and then you lost to the Jackets 4-3 in the shootout, and then 8-4 to the Capitals. And that's just awful. And there's slumps, but when you have a slump like that where you're allowing that many goals, something structurally is wrong. I don't know if you guys have enough room to bring up somebody or sit somebody. That's the thing, is you guys don't have like the veteran guys that you could sit and have it be a lesson or something like that. It's going to be bumps in the road. It's a good young team, but sometimes those good young teams, they go through stages like this, and now's when you're going to find out who the leaders on that team are, because somebody's got to get them out of that. That's a tailspin. That's just way too many goals to be given up on a nightly basis. Dave says you're starting to see the importance of Bob and Paul Maurice this season. Yeah. Very, very, very steady. Very steady. Russell says, I refuse to watch Blues game, and yes, we'll lose to the Islanders. That's my bad. It's my bad. Like I said, I picked the Blues to be the different team in the West making the playoffs. I picked the Wild to miss and the Blues to get in. So that's on me. That's on me. Oh, the hockey pool. Well, remember, I don't have the hockey pool, Simon. We have the football thing, and I screwed up. I forgot to change my lineup, and now I don't have a kicker for this game because I don't have any spaces that I can dump anybody to pick up a kicker, because I have a couple of Buffalo players that I could have dropped, but I can't because the games have already played on Thursday, so it's a mess. But my opponent might have forgotten about their lineup and doesn't have a quarterback, so I might be okay. Death Oilers says U.S. Oilers fans already holding Coach Knobloch feet to the fire if we miss the playoffs. That's another team that I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they gave all that money to Bouchard, right? And they didn't do anything at goalie. Like David is saying, like they didn't do anything at goalie. And I don't know what McDavid was smoking when he decided to extend for the 2 years. Like, I don't know what he was. Well, we know what he was thinking. I guess he was giving them more time, but I don't know. What it does show is it shows him having a desire to win there. But it only works, McDavid. It only works if everybody else is taking less money than they could get elsewhere. The Oilers didn't do anything. They didn't even go out and get one more goalie. Hungry says it's not all Skinner, though. Their defense has been terrible this season. Sure. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that uphand, right? I don't know why McDavid didn't walk. I mean, the better half of him got the better of him. He wants to win there in Edmonton, so I can totally respect that. But what's interesting is, like, they had just finished overpaying for Bouchard and making it obvious that they were just going to roll with Skinner and Picard again. And that's when he decided to extend. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Mythical says McDavid did come very close to making back-to-back cups along with a Conn Smythe. He did. And, maybe McDavid's thought process was that if they could get back this year, they were betting on the Panthers to not be there again, which could happen, right? I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and count Edmonton out. We've seen them the first year we beat them. They were some ridiculous start to the season. Hey, Dark Jedi. Lil J says, if I were him, I'd take some responsibility. 0 goals in Game 7 and 0 goals last year in Game 6, but also the team around him just isn't good enough. And, sometimes you just run into a better team. Oh, you know what I mean? I mean, any of you that are my age that were Dolphin fans, Marino could have won 3-4 Super Bowls, but we could never get past the Bills. I feel pretty damn confident that had we gotten past some of those AFC Championship game and later round playoff games, that we would have easily beat the teams in the NFC. Hey, Patel says, I think Calvin Pickard is better than Skinner. Pickard's a little bit more consistent. Let me see if the numbers bear this out. What I'm getting ready to say is Pickard's a little bit more consistent, where Skinner is wildly all over the place. But let's see. I want to see. And plus, I'm not sure if he can. Let's see. Let's just look at it this year. So Skinner's goals against have been 3 and then a shutout, and then 3-3, 2-3-3, 4-2-3, 4-4-1, 3-4-5. So, I mean, that's a lot of threes, right? That's a lot of threes. Now, on the games where he's allowed 3 goals, they lost. They won overtime. They won, so it's a mixed bag. What about and Skinner's numbers is three goals against and an 882. And where's Picard? Picard's a little bit older. God. He's at 387 and an 851. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Get to his game logs. This year, goals against have been bad. His goals against have been 1, and then 4-5-4-3, 5-5-2. Holy moly. Jeez. And the game where he allowed 2 was the game that they just lost in overtime to Tampa. Jeez. So, yeah, Skinner's been much better. Picard's been bad. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3 times. He's only got 9 starts. He's only got 9 starts, 8 starts, and he's allowed 5 goals 3 times and 4 goals another 2 times. You can't win with that. You can't win with that. That's brutal. David says the Oilers seem like best in the West, just not right now, but last 2-3 years. Yeah, and they just couldn't get past us. Ryan says, would the Panthers see the Devils in the conference finals? Maybe. You got to get past. They got to get past the Canes, though. You know what I mean? I suspect if everybody is healthy and Barkov comes back, I would suspect a Panthers Lightning second round and a Canes Devils second round. I don't know right now. I'm questioning Montreal's goaltending, obviously. Darth says, I got a question. Could this be Vasilevsky's last run, or did we dodge a bullet from Stamkos? Now he's been playing. And so you definitely did dodge a bullet with Stamkos, unless Stamkos was going to take a contract that was commensurate to what his abilities are now. Vasilevsky is an interesting one because I've been saying for years, before the Panthers even started winning, even when Tampa was winning, that they got to get him a decent backup goalie because not only does he play so many games every year, but a lot of times they're depending on Vasilevsky. Like when the Lightning swept us in Game 4 was a 49 save shutout. Yeah, it's great. It's a shutout. It's great, but that's a lot of work. And I think they've never been able to, obviously, they've signed Jonas Johansson, as on purpose. And so they've always kind of gone cheap on the backup. And Vasilevsky, I rarely do I say this, but it does happen every once in a while in sports. If I was Vasilevsky, and it's never going to happen, but he seems like a guy that could benefit from I'm not retiring, but I'm taking a year off to rest my body and then come back super strong and then maybe get another, 8 to 10 years out of his career. I genuinely feel like that he just needs some rest. Because if you look at his playoff numbers the last 3 years, it's been awful. It's been awful. Tell says, because if Skinner gets the blame, then shouldn't Picard if they're alternating games? Yeah, I mean, I guess the idea for Oilers fans is that Skinner's the starter, so the expectations are different, right? Because Picard's 33 and Skinner is 27, so I guess Skinner is supposed to be like the younger guy, right? Other part to that is that Picard was drafted by Colorado, so it's not really their guy, whereas Skinner was drafted by the Oilers. So I guess it's just an expectation thing for the Oilers fans. How's Kyle doing in the football pool? Well, I'm taking trade offers to build a super team. If anybody wants to build a super team off my back, so because we can't let Kyle win. Can't let Kyle win the pool. It's getting bad. It's getting ugly around here. Dave says, in my opinion, goals against are overrated. Goals against are an overrated stat. It isn't how many saves you make, but rather when you make them. A huge save on a breakaway can turn a game. You mean like Game 5 against Marchand? I get what you're saying. Yeah. Patel says, is it also their defense that's causing the goals against to soar? I'm like, the Panthers can't allow Tarasov to have 40 saves each game. I think that what's going on in Edmonton is kind of similar to what's going on in Toronto. And you see it in almost any sport. When a team has a core of players and they reach what might be their peak and they don't win, I don't think the buy-in ends up the same. Like the Oilers came back from that horrible start, made it to the Cup Finals, got it to Game 7, and then lost 2-1. I mean, you can't get any closer. And then what they do? They put all their eggs in. We're gonna come back. We can do this. We're gonna come back and finish the job. And so they worked hard the whole year, and they come back, and they had a series lead. They won Game 1, right, against the Panthers. And then games by the end of Game 5, really, games obviously by the end of Game 6, they were just completely out of gas. And so I think with those two seasons in the behind, I don't know how you look at the Oilers guys around the locker room and say, well, come on, we'll do it this time. This time we're really going to do it. Like losing twice in a row is hard. And I think that that's kind of what happened a little bit to Toronto this season is, we beat them the one time. And then this last year, right, what did Toronto do? They bust their ass the whole season to get home ice. They win the division, right? They had a lead in the series. They almost had us 3-0, right? And then they managed to get it to Game 7 at home because of all the hard work that they've done. And what happened? We kicked their ass. And so when you see stuff like that, I just don't know how much the Oilers and Leafs players believe. Even not that they think the Panthers are always going to be there, but you can only lose so many times before you start to have a crisis of confidence. And I suspect that that's what's going on because especially with Edmonton, they didn't really make any changes, right? I mean, everybody talking about the Panthers bringing everybody back, but I mean, they even got the extension for McDavid to have that whole stress out of the way so it wouldn't be hanging over them. They brought back, I mean, for the most part, right? They get Hyman back too. So to me, it's just they've been burnt twice, man. They've been burnt twice. Both fans, both group of guys have been burnt pretty twice. Oh, I wouldn't count them out, that's for sure. I think we can overlook the Preds, though. I think we're safe to overlook the Preds. That's my opinion. Dar says Kucherov isn't getting any younger. Yeah, you're at that point. You're at that point, right? No, Picard is the grizzled young veteran. Yeah, Horvat's been good. Beck says, imagine if the Cats went to the finals again, the second time reaching it. Not sure how they make it back a third time in a row. Yeah, like if we had played Vegas again and lost again, like that's rough, man. Hey, Fireborn. Yeah, that should be a good game, Vegas and the Ducks, for sure. Goat says, as a Cats Leaf fan, it's called beliefing. Andrew Burnett is still the coach. I don't know how, Mike, but Andrew Burnett is still the coach. He is not. I don't understand how he still has a job. God almighty. The goal differential is negative 21. And when you look at the roster, like if there's everybody's going to be calling Nashville because there's not a lot of teams that are automatic sellers right now. And I mean, they don't have anybody with 10 goals. Forsberg has 8. O'Reilly and Wood have 6. Bunting has 4. Haula has 3. Haula would be an interesting get for somebody trying to get depth for a playoff run. Marchessault is sitting there with 4 goals, just languishing. Stamkos has 5 points in 20 games, which is why when people were bringing up a rumor that we were going to get Stamkos, it's like, what? Why would we do that? Stamkos has 4 goals and an assist in 5 games. His time on ice is at 1740, so I guess he's still playing. I mean, maybe if he was playing 4th line minutes, his faceoff percentages are way up, 57%. But he's cooked. And he's not even that old. He's only 35, but it happens. He played a lot of hockey, and he was generally, for most of the years, healthy. His career in Tampa, 79, 82, 82, 82, 48. Was that a strike-shortened season? Then 37, then 82, 17, 82, 77. And then, the 1 year, only 17. And then 78, 82. The 57 was the COVID year, which was normal. And then the last 3 years 81, 81, 79 with Tampa, and then 82 with Nashville. I mean, the guy's just played a lot of hockey. That would be some, but I don't know how many, My locals page still says coming soon, Patel. All right, it must mean that they haven't been approved yet, I guess. It was an interesting excursion to try to find the create community button. Apparently, create community button is behind the button that says where my subscriptions are. So I created it. On my end, it looks like it's up. But let me see, view as a member. Yeah, when I put view as a member, I'm there. But I'll make a post when I'm done here. And like I said, I just started putzing with it today. So once we get everything up and running and know what we're doing, then I can start streaming to it. I'm going to try today, if I can get it up and running, to add tonight's game stream to locals and go from there. But we're making progress over there for sure. So it says the link still says coming soon, huh? All right. Well, I appreciate that. We'll have to just keep trying. Swiggy hat trick tonight. Does anybody have a worse shot percentage than Verhaeghe? That's a question. That is a question. Let's see. I can't be worse on the team. So Verhaeghe's shot percentage is 4.3. Woo! 4.3. What happened to this dude? When's the last time Verhaeghe got a goal? Last goal Verhaeghe got was on October 21st. He scored on opening day, and then he got one against Boston on October 21st. That's wild. NHL scoring leaders. I wonder if I can sort it by shot percentage. Let's see. Shot percentage. So let's see. Of the guys that have points, because of course you have to sort through the guys that don't have points. Yeah, there are some guys with worse shot percentages. Quinn Hughes has a 2.2 shot percentage. Rasmus Dahlin has a 2.2. Luke Hughes, Brent Burns, Alex Killhorn, Borgstrand, Ekblad. Ekblad's shot percentage 3%. Of course, these are defensemen, but Killhorn's a forward. Mike Riley, Chris Letang has a 3.3. Let's see. Nate Schmidt has a 3.5. Mason Marchment has a 3.6. So he's not so bad. Who's around Verhaeghe? Let's see. Because Verhaeghe is 4. They have him here at 4.4. So the players that are also at 4.4 that we would even know their names: Jared Spurgeon, Verhaeghe, Shea Theodore. That's it. Evan Bouchard and his contract is at 4.6. Evander Kane's at 4.8. Alexander Petrovic at 4.8. Anybody else interesting? Ben Sherratt, and our first round pick, is at 5. Kevin Stenlin is at 5 before anybody goes wanting to get him back. Oh, God, there's Mac. Oh, I'm ashamed. I didn't mean to see this. Mackie Samoskevich is at 5.1. So the Verhaeghe disease is rubbing off on Samoskevich now. Now, that's a problem. There's Adam Henrique. Yes, that Adam Henrique at 5.6. And Nazem Kadri, who people were interested in getting, is at 5.6. So, yeah, not a whole lot to do there. Fly says, I think they're keeping Andrew Burnett in order to use him as the fall guy while they go through these rough years. Why bring in a new coach just to give him a dog crap record with this team? So on one hand, I would agree with you. But on the other hand, what are they doing? Like, they didn't sell last year. They thought bringing it all back was going to somehow fix the problem. So my assumption is at some point they're going to start selling, right? I mean, they can't all just suddenly suck. Marchessault, Stamkos, these guys, I mean, there's got to be some kind of viable players on that team that under the right circumstances could do well. Like, how bad could Stamkos be at 4C? He's getting 17 and a half minutes a night. So that's usually top line, if not at least second line minutes. So how would he do as a fourth line? But, when your skills have declined at that point, you just don't know. Jimmy says, are the Bruins for real? I don't know. I can't give you that answer. Minute ago, yeah, I know it, man, right? Yeah, I hate German Canucks. I know. You guys are in rough shape with the injuries, no doubt. Beck says, yeah, that was the accidental goal on the 21st. That's right. It's a good point. Yeah, Mythical. I mean, we keep waiting for him to turn it around, but the problem is he was like this the whole last season too. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a hockey guy, but I'm not a hockey coach. I what I was thinking about was like, if I could watch a bunch of highlights from when he was kicking ass versus now, and just see if there's some kind of difference in his shot. Are his mechanics off, or is it just legitimately because he was fine in the playoffs last year? I don't know. Undead Ab said, I wonder when a loss might come. It's not sustainable. That's for sure. Just enjoy it. But I hate to tell you this, bro. You don't want the President's Trophy, because as soon as you win the President's Trophy, it's a guarantee that Bobrovsky and the Panthers will take you out in the Cup final. In fact, that's the only way you guys probably wouldn't win the Cup, is against the Panthers if you had the President's Trophy, because that's what we do. That's Bobrovsky's specialty. We eliminate President's Trophy teams, even when we're the President's Trophy. Patel says, Patel says, if anyone creates a locals account, I will gift anyone a membership on Jaw's page once it's active. Thank you, Patel. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, I'm going to play with it this afternoon and see what's what. That way, Donna can sit across from me and tell me what she sees. Because on my end, it shows it's there, but it did tell me that it was submitted for approval. So it might just be that I'm waiting for approval before it's public, and they're showing it to me because it's me. So that's a distinct possibility. Simon says for the natural predators. Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about Stamkos. Yeah. Comments. Yeah, it's bad when most of all of them are defensemen. Yeah. What's the nickname we can give Sammo until he starts scoring? Instead of Mackey, how about Mighty? No. We'll have to think about that. Sam No. Instead of Sammo, it's Sam No. Oh, poor kid. The nice warm Barkov blankie is out. Yeah, exactly, Fly. Says it's easy. It's really easy to look good with Barkov being the dog and the puck passing it to you, right? Yeah, Reinhardt has really been playing well. No doubt. He made a decision. You could kind of see him make a decision that somebody needed to step up. Once he realized that Verhaeghe and Bennett weren't going to do it, Reinhardt took control of things for sure. Do I think the Bruins will get young players eventually because you lost Marchand? Yeah, sure. I mean, slowly, one by one, attrition will get you guys. But be happy with where you are right now. That's for sure. This is a bonus. You know what I mean? And, what makes it more difficult, though, is when you're transitioning from being an older team to trying to get those young guys like Marchand. You got a first out of it, right? So you have to trade guys away and then wait for the picks to develop. But you got Swayman. So Swayman's going to keep you guys afloat for a little while, I'm sure. Hey, Dark Charge. No, it's not. David, if you're asking about the locals, is it just for people near you? No. No, I think that's just the name of the site. Instead of Mackey, how about Murky? That's not bad. That's not bad. Deadly Flames, and no, 96 points. Slacky. Oh, my God. Donna with the win. Miss Jaws with the win. Slacky. Damn. That's rough, man. Dang, that's not bad, though. Oh, man. Now I feel bad. Though. Damn it. I don't want to get blocked by them, though. Lackey Lamaskevich. Damn it. They made me do it, Mackie. I don't want to get blocked by them like Ekblad. How about he just scores tonight? And that way I don't have to worry about it. I don't want to get blocked. So, yeah, the Penguins will be okay. Whether or not they can continue, and they're in a spot right now, whether or not the Penguins can continue. Again, up to goaltending. How much? I know Jari's out for a while, but you guys are still there. So, all right, everybody. I'm going to roll. I'm going to go get myself some lunch. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate all the support. Now, like I said earlier, we got our normal game time today, normal stuff today. Tomorrow on the football channel, Kyle and I are going to do, I believe it's Eagles Cowboys. And then most likely Donna and I will be live on the men's channel tomorrow night. Then on Thanksgiving, Donna and I will be live with some football because Kyle will be at his mom. So we'll be live. We'll see how many games we're going to do. We'll play that by ear. And then on Black Friday, I'm going to be live doing, because there's daytime games, there's some afternoon games, and then the Panthers play at 4. So on Black Friday, I'm going to be here early, 11:30, 12 o'clock for the first game, and then we'll just watch some games until the Panther game, and then Kyle is going to be home, I think, 2 o'clock on Friday. We'll get to see Matthias, and yeah, so we got a lot of extra content coming this week. So, all right, everybody, go enjoy the rest of your day. And the member stream is set up to start at 6:15. So I'll see you all there. And everything is good. I'm not. This computer is good. So the member stream will be going on. If something happens to this laptop, though, I make no promises. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming. I will see you in about 5 hours.